Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Renegade Roundtable podcast here on the channel. I am Jeffrey Kirby. As you can tell, we are back. Last week, we obviously took the week off. Obviously, it was Thanksgiving. You know, we all wanted to enjoy each other's families and all that, and just take a break. So that's kind of what we did. Obviously, we are back. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. As you can see, I am running solo. Caleb is dealing with work stuff. He's going to be getting ready to go on vacation out of the country. Congratulations to you and all your success, Caleb. And also Jared is also on vacation. He is on his way down to Atlanta for the Steelers-Falcons game. So that's going to be fun for him as well. I'm kind of jealous, but you know, that's something for him to do, and I'm excited for him. And obviously, we got some stuff to talk about. We got to talk about the game from Monday night. There was some interesting things to talk about with that. Some good, some bad. There was, I think, more good when it came to that game. But before we get started here, I do want to say, I know for me personally, I don't talk a lot of Penguins hockey, mainly because, I'll be completely honest, I'm trying to learn it, but I don't necessarily, and plus I haven't been able to really watch the games because it seems like every night that they're on, I'm at work, and it just goes all straight to hell. Like, I don't even get to watch Monday Night Football unless it was when the Steelers played. Then I just don't go in, period. But I do want to say I want to give prayers out to Chris Letang. Obviously, if you have not heard, he suffered a minor stroke. I believe it was on Monday. Second one since 2014. It's a very scary thing, especially for we consider like 30s old in sports, but in just life in general, he's still very young. So I do want to say prayers out to him and to obviously all of the Penguins. You know, it's a very scary situation. Obviously, they caught it very early. Chris Letang's one of those guys that cares a lot about his body, so he realized something wasn't right, let the medical team know, and they got it handled right away. So that's great to see. So we are obviously thinking of you, Chris Letang. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. Talking about the Steelers here. Some good, obviously some bad. I think more of good, though. Let's start off with the quarterback, obviously. Start off with Kenny Pickett. 20 of 28, 174 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns. He took 3 sacks. But, again, another game of 0 turnovers. 12 straight quarters of 0 turnovers. That was a very good sign to see. He has not turned the ball over since the bye week. That's been something that a lot of us Steeler fans have been noticing, looking out for. Yes, of course, there's going to be some missed throws. We're going to talk about that. But I think at the end of the day, especially with the way that Mike Tomlin wants to run this offense, do not turn the ball over. Obviously, with Kenny Pickett, he did that a lot in his first couple starts. He has not done that for 12 straight quarters. So that is a very good sign. Very good sign for any Kenny Pickett fan. And here's the thing. At this point, if you're still just trying to be a hater on Kenny Pickett, just stop. You just sound stupid and goofy to try to fit. If you're like, especially for those that are trying to do it because they want to fit an agenda or because they just don't like. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not going to go out here and be like Andrew Filipponi and talk, just any single tiny thing that makes him look good. We're just going to blast it. And the moment someone says something bad, basically saying that he's an idiot or all this and that, blah, 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 and all that. We're not going to do that. Obviously, for a lot of us, especially if you are a Steeler fan who is also a Pitt Panther fan. If you are a Pitt Panther fan and a Steeler fan, of course you truly want to see Kenny Pickett be good. Now, if you're a guy like me, I'm a Steeler fan, but I am not a Pitt Panther fan. I am an Ohio State Buckeye fan, which, yes, I know. Which, by the way, if you haven't go check out the vlog, we did 2 videos. We did a vlog and a reaction video. Both are doing pretty well, so if you have yet, go and check that out. But yes, I understand what happened to my Buckeyes over the weekend. Again, I was there. But, regardless or not, I'm not, like, if you go back to the NFL Draft live stream that we did earlier this year, I said I was very okay with Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Either of them two, I was great with. And that's what happened. We ended up getting Kenny Pickett. Great. Now I want to see him succeed. But there are some weirdos that just don't want to see him succeed. And I just don't get that. Like, I legitimately, genuinely want to know why people don't want to see him succeed. And if you are one of those guys or gals, are you a real Steeler fan? I didn't think so. If this is how you're gonna act, then what do you want me to do? Like, it just makes zero sense. Like, I'm trying to find the words to say because I don't know what to say to that. I just find that weirdo material. Very, very weirdo material. But, going back to some more of the positives. Kenny Pickett. Here's a clip here. I want to play this for everyone. This is a clip from his press conference over the after the game on Monday night. This is a question and answer. And I want you to pay attention to something. You guys have probably heard of it already. But we're going to go ahead and play this, and I want your guys' reaction to this.
Mason Cole said you called that play at the end there, maybe small touchdown. Is that something that you just have maturation now, or would you have done that week 2, week 3, week 5?
Yeah, Coach T, puts a lot of confidence, in myself. Just, asks me what I like, what I don't like. I feel like that play, just watching from tape, all week. Simple play, but something I feel like other teams weren't doing that I think if we gave it a shot, I think we could have been successful. We were in 4-down territory, so we were going to go for it again on the next play if we didn't get it. But I felt real confident with that play and, real happy we got in the end zone.
You say to Matt, I want to write this, or you run this, you go to Mike, what's the process?
We have a great, open communication. I'll go up to Coach Soley and Coach Tomlin, and, we had a conversation, and, that was the play I brought up. I felt really confident about it. They felt good about it too, so we rolled with it.
Okay, so that was Kenny Pickett in his post-game press conference after the Colts game. Couple things that you notice right off the bat. Number one, who did he mention? Of course, he mentioned Mike Tomlin. He mentions Mike Sullivan. When someone in the media asks, did you talk to Matt Canada about it? Didn't say, yes, me and him talked. It kind of made it seem like he talked to Tomlin, Sullivan, but Matt Canada not really being involved in that. Now, could I be overthinking this? Absolutely. And again, this is not anything to fit a quote-unquote agenda because we all hate Matt Canada. Almost all of us hate Matt Canada. But we also, at least for me, I want to see him be good. Regardless of whatever it is, I want to see him be good. And my thing is when it comes to this is he's the offensive coordinator. Now, I understand that he's up in the booth. But he has a direct line of communication to Canada. But didn't want to mention him as a part of the conversations that he had when it came to Mike Tomlin and Mike Sullivan. Again, could I be overthinking this? Very well could be. But I also don't think it's a coincidence either. It's also interesting to talk about when, again, it has got brought up again from Ben Roethlisberger's podcast with Marquise Pouncey talking about the Boswell clip that we all knew or that we all saw saying it sure as hell wasn't because of you. And we had a lot of us speculated that was at Matt Canada. And it very well could be. Matt Canada, now here's what's interesting about this. 3 straight games of 20-plus points. Scored 20 against the Saints, 30 against the Bengals, 24 against the Colts. If I'm not mistaken, that's the first time since he's been offensive coordinator for the Steelers, you've had 3 straight games of 20-plus points. Cool. I still have a lot of... Now, I'm not going to... Here's what I will say. I did not necessarily have... I couldn't... It's not like I could go into that game, or when I was watching that game, and be totally criticizing of the game plan. There were some times where you're just like, what the hell are you doing? But, for the most part, I wasn't that mad at Matt Canada in the way that he called this game. Now, how much of that was, Kenny Pickett's improvisation? Or how much was it on Matt Canada? I do think, in my opinion, if you're going to scrutinize Matt Canada during tough times, during good times, you might want to give him some flowers as well. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. When someone does bad, we're all quick to scrutinize someone. When they're not, or when they're doing pretty good, you might as well give them some flowers. And I do want to check something out here. I want to try something. Okay, I want to check and see if my chat is working as well. But yeah, that's just kind of my thing when it comes to this. I'm very curious to see, how the offense is going to look at Atlanta. I'm very curious. Now, looking into the run game side, and okay, my chat may not be working. So, if you guys are trying to chat, I do apologize. Okay, there we go. It is working now. So, my test chat did work. If you got... When it comes to the run game, it's been a kind of an issue. Up until the last couple games. Now, when it comes to this game against the Colts, we all know that Najee Harris got out with an abdominal injury. Looks like we dodged a bullet there. We all knew Jaylen Warren was not available. He had a hamstring injury, which it looks like he should be back this week, which is good to hear, especially if Najee Harris is not able to go. And then you go and you get contributions from Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland. Names you not necessarily have heard of much this year. Benny Snell, 12 carries, 62 yards with a touchdown, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Anthony McFarland, 6 carries for 30 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. That's what you like to see. Because that means when you get the run game going, that's obviously going to help out Kenny Pickett a lot. It's going to keep defenses on their toes. And on top of that, that also must mean that the offensive line is doing something as well. That must mean that they're getting some sort of push, which, again, is a great sign. Going back since the bye, you're 2-1 since you've come back from the bye. 217 rushing yards against the Saints, total rushing yards. 102 against the Cincinnati Bengals, and 172 against the Indianapolis Colts. That's pretty damn good, considering the fact that going into the bye, your rushing attack was non-existent, really. So to have that, including Najee Harris practically having 100 yards against the Saints. So technically, we have not had a 100-yard rusher this year, but Najee Harris had 99. Najee in the Cincinnati game had 90. So 2 games where you had close to 100. Benny still, obviously, he had 62 yards of rushing. But again, when you rush for 172 yards as a team, that's a good sign. Something is clicking. Something is working. Offensive line's getting some push. That's what we need. We understand that Mike Tomlin, he is not a running back by committee kind of coach. He is a bell cow horse, whatever running back. He likes one guy and to run him to the ground. I don't think in the NFL today that's necessarily successful. Very, very few guys can do that. We see it with Derrick Henry. Even guys like Nick Chubb in Cleveland. He's a guy that if he wanted to, he could. But they don't. They have another guy, Kareem Hunt. Probably have heard of him. Probably the best 1-2 combo in the NFL in terms of running backs. It works when you have a running back by committee. It keeps guys fresh. You could do different tempos with guys, different running styles, and that's why I think, again, that's why we were arguing so much for wanting Jaylen Warren more. Not to overtake Najee Harris completely. But if you can implement more of him into the offense, now you could have two guys that are different styles, different plays, different tones of play. It's going to mess with a defense. And I think that's what we need more of when it comes to the running back. Going into another play, and that clip that I showed you goes into the Benny Snell touchdown where he calls that play. Kenny Pickett called that play. I believe he audibled into that play and mentioned how it worked. That is a great sign if you're a Steeler fan, because it's showing how much of in command he is in that offense. It's showing that he has full control of the offense. It shows that he understands. He's starting to understand NFL defenses. Those are good signs. Again, he was an older rookie, but it's still great to see your young quarterback go and make those kind of progressions, go and make those kind of improvements. That's what we like to see. Here's something that I did not like going in with that game on Monday. The third quarter. Kind of figured this was coming. In fact, here's what's ironic about this. What's ironic is, let me go and find this tweet, because I posted a tweet, or it was during the game, because I was doing my live reaction stream. Here we go. So I said, Steeler fans, how are you feeling about the first half? Just wanted to see what people would say. Someone commented, we'll be down 17-16 going into the fourth. Well, damn, that did happen. You did go down 17-16 going into the fourth. So you have people who already believe that was going to happen. What happened in that third quarter? Well, first and foremost, you decided to give up like an 80 or 90-yard kickoff return. So that didn't help much. So the Colts get the ball deep into Steeler territory. I think it might have already been in the red zone. So what happens there? 2-yard run to Jonathan Taylor, JT for 7, Matt Ryan to Paris Campbell for 8, and then a 2-yard touchdown run. Boom, just like that. 4 plays, easy, bang, touchdown. Now you're within 1 score. How does the Steelers respond to that? Their first 3 and out of the game, because they had not had a 3 and out going into that game, or when they came into halftime, they didn't have a 3 and out, which was something that was very shocking and I was very surprised about. You had drives of 10 plays, 6 plays, 8 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays. Okay, only 1 punt in that first half, and that was on the second drive, or on the second possession. Those were great improvements. Then obviously you go into the second half. Obviously the special teams gives up a huge return. Easy, they score easily. How do you respond to that again? 3 and out, 9 yards. That's all you get. Damn. So what happens after? The Colts just start going. 16-play drive. You give up, let's see, a 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 1st and 10, 2nd and 5. So now they're just getting chunk plays. Gave up a 4th and 1. Gave up a 3rd and 7. Or no, you got to a 4th down. Then you gave that up. Got to a 3rd and goal. And then penalty happened. Boom. Then you get the fumble. 16-play drive. Now that's the definition of bend but don't break defense. They ended up getting the turnover. Great. How do you respond to that? After, let me go and pull it back up here because I just lost it for a second. How do you do that? Or how do you respond to that? Another 3 and out. So now you're back-to-back 3 and outs in the third quarter. Not good. Then you just give up a 6-play drive for a touchdown. Boom. What exactly happens? What did that man call? Down 17-16 going into the fourth quarter. Damn. But here's the resilience of this team that we like to see. The fact that you were able to respond with an 11-play drive for a touchdown. 11 plays, 75 yards. In which you converted on a 3rd and 9 to George Pickens, which that play in particular is a play that a lot of people have been talking about in terms of improvements and command of that offense for Kenny Pickett. It was a play that he understood. He had to slide out, move up in the pocket, boom, throws a strike to George Pickens in the right spot for a first down. A lot of people have been talking about that play. You also got a 3rd and 6 to Pat Freiermuth. And then obviously a 3rd and goal to Benny Snell for the 2-yard touchdown pass, or the 2-yard touchdown run that we've all talked about. Then after that, defense, 3 and out. Great. Then you go on a 6-play drive, ends in a punt. And then obviously the defense goes in 11 plays, and then they get the breakup, and the game is over. So at the end of the day, there was a lot of things that happened in this game that you were happy about. You saw more improvements from the quarterback. You saw the running game continue to improve. Like I said, I heard a stat. It was like you were 4th in rushing. The Steelers are 4th in rushing since their bye. So for the last 3 weeks, they've been the 4th best rushing team in the NFL. That's what you like to see. Again, another game of 0 turnovers for Kenny Pickett. And here's what's even better about this. You're +6 in the turnover margin. You've gotten 2 turnovers in each game, 2 takeaways since you've come back from the bye. +6. You want to make a run and backdoor your way into the playoffs for those that were not in the tank, forget it, let's tank to get a better draft pick phase? +6 in the last 3 weeks, getting +2 takeaways every game. That's a way to do it. That's going to help you out a lot. Obviously, yes, there's also one thing we noticed. TJ Watt is back. Although he was not really a factor at all in this game. He was a non-factor. He didn't necessarily look like himself fully. We all noticed that, and it's like, where is TJ Watt? But again, it's nice to see when the defense can play decently well when your best player he's out there, but not having himself a game at all. Because he only had maybe 2 tackles. That was it. On the defensive side of the ball, I mean, Matt Ryan didn't get 200 yards passing. Didn't even complete 6 yards per attempt. You got that interception from Arthur Mollett. Arthur Mollett seemed like he was all over the football. Or was that Mollett or was that James Pierre? I couldn't remember. But I remember seeing Mollett around a lot as well. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he had 20 carries for 86 yards. Okay. Jonathan Taylor, he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. You can live with that. But, I mean, outside of their one tight end who just seemed like he was just having chunk plays, Jelani Woods, who I had never heard of before in my life. He could come into my house right now and slap me. I wouldn't even know who he was. Outside of him just going off for chunk plays, other than that, Michael Pittman, who's one of my favorite receivers in the NFL, 7 for 61, did only average about, 8.5 yards per attempt? Okay. Other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you saw things in this game that you were very happy with and you were impressed with. That's where I came out of this game with. Obviously, George Pickens is him. We all knew that, though. He's starting to come on. And that makes us all happy. Especially when the Steelers' social media account just goes bonkers each and every chance they can get with involving George Pickens. They absolutely will. And can we also real quick talk about... excuse me. Can we also talk about the laser that Kenny Pickett had on that 2-point conversion to George Pickens? Can we do that? Because that was incredible ball placement. I really enjoy... I saw some people show, oh, that's an easy throw. No, it wasn't, because if you throw that a second later, that's getting batted down. And now that changes things when it comes to that game. Because now instead of being up a touchdown, now you're only up 5. Now touchdown, you could lose that game. Now in hindsight, we all have, they didn't score another touchdown, so therefore you were okay. But before that, you didn't know that. You wanted that sense of security, knowing, okay, if they want to win this game, they would have to get the touchdown and get a 2-point, or they get it, kick the extra point, and then they go to overtime. But there was a lot of things that I enjoyed when it came to this game. And I'm going to be very excited to see what happens this Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Pittsburgh is a 1-point favorite on the road. I don't remember the last time I truly don't remember the last time the Steelers were a favorite in a game. I really do not remember. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Colts were a favorite in this game. Obviously, the Cincinnati was a favorite. Maybe the Saints? Maybe no. I don't even know then. Maybe the last time you were a favorite was the Jets in Week 4. Maybe. So, obviously, you're a 1-point favorite on the road against Atlanta. But this is a team I'm not going to sleep on whatsoever. Mariota, he's a guy that can be very frustrating because he can run the football. Now, obviously, their best pass catcher, Kyle Pitts, out for the year. It's a huge loss for them. And that's a big help for us. Cordell Patterson, he's another guy that could be a threat. As long as he's not hurt, because I know at one point in time he was. But yeah, other than that, I mean, they're averaging 22.5 points per game, Atlanta is. So, I think you're definitely going to have another one of these games where you can score 20-plus points if you want to win this football game. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens on Sunday. I'm very excited for this week. And then real quick, I do want to kind of look into the AFC North here for a minute. I'm just kind of curious because for those that want to look into the playoff margin, if you want to look into that, if you're in that phase of things, let's go to, actually here, let me pull something up. Okay, so week 13. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Week 13. So, let's see. So the Browns play the Texans. That's right. Deshaun Watson comes back. Whew, that's going to be a rough game. That's going to be interesting, to say the least. Ravens and Broncos. The Ravens are an 8.5-point favorite at home. We all know that Russell Wilson, that is very messy. We'll just keep it like that. It is very messy over in Denver. And then you got Cincinnati at home against the Chiefs. That's going to be a very fun game to watch. That is a 4:25 game. That'll be a fun game to watch. How much of that game will I be able to watch? I don't know, because we'll see how many reactions I'm going to do. Because I haven't really done much reactions lately. So I do want to try and get some more reactions out this weekend for you guys. But other than that, I mean, that's really about it. It was going to be kind of a shorter episode to begin with. I mean, obviously, again, I do want to say prayers up to Chris Letang. I believe he was on the ice a little bit today, just kind of skating around a little bit, not doing anything hockey-related. In fact, actually, no, I do want to say one thing. I actually do want to mention something when it comes to the Pirates. Because what's interesting what's going on with the Pirates is, so they went out and they traded for Ji-Man Choi. So you get a first baseman there. And then you go out and you get Carlos Santana. For those that know, I'm a Guardians fan. I know a thing or two about Carlos Santana. He was with us for multiple stints. He's a guy that's going to play first base. You can play, use him as DH as well a little bit if you want. I like that pickup for the Pirates. I really do like that pickup for the Pirates because he's a guy that can walk at a decently high rate. And I think with Ji-Man Choi, just mixing them two in together, a platoon at first base, and I think that's going to be a very nice move for the Pirates. It's a very subtle move, but I think that's going to end up being a nice move for the Pirates. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens with them in free agency, because I believe some people believe that they might be one of the teams that are more invested into the hot stove in the free agency this year for the Pirates. Especially when they go out and get Aaron Judge. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, other than that, I mean, unless you guys got anything else, I think we're about good here. I really don't think there's much else to talk about here. Unless you guys have something you want me to discuss. I'll give you guys a minute or so. But until then, I do want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you guys did, smash that like button, hit the red subscribe button, and drop a comment. We are getting close to 600. And also, if you ever go and check out, again, my vlog from going to the Ohio State-Michigan game. And also go check out my reaction to that game, because I had a bunch of people. I had some people who messaged me and commented to me on Facebook saying they wanted to see it. I had some comments from last year's video saying, please do a reaction to this game. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it. And I think that ended up being my only reaction, because I was just so exhausted from Saturday. That was just a wild night. A wild day to be itself. But other than that, I do want to say again, thank you, everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. I hope you guys did have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. For me, obviously, it was great. You know, lounge around, watch some football, went and made some money, went to work. Time and a half, of course, is always nice. Smoked, drank a little bit. You know, what else can you say? Great weekend. It's all good and never. But other than that, I do want to say thank you. Have a great week. Stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace out.